Axia is on the brink of economic collapse. Sounds like the perfect time to make some coins. This video I'll be reviewing Crisis after this. Hey there, it's Theo from Geeky Gamer Guy. On this channel I do all things board games from top 5 lists of a specific topic, playthroughs, reviews, hey, like this one, to how to plays where I expose the full rules of the game at hand. So if you don't want to miss out, think about subscribing. The land of Axia's future is uncertain. Can players stimulate the economy to help it thrive? Or will they extort the profits, leaving it in financial ruin? Let's find out now. Crisis is a diesel punk worker placement game for 1 to 5 players. Each player is an industrialist looking to save Axia from economic collapse, while also lining their own pockets. Over 7 rounds, players will send out their managers to various locations on the board, in hopes of acquiring enough workers and resources to power companies for VP and money. At the beginning of the game, an austerity plan is chosen by the number of players playing, as well as the difficulty they wish to choose: easy, medium, or hard. The card outlines the 7 rounds, showing what level buildings will be available and the goal VP for the players to get to during the current round. Depending on how much VP players have at the end of the round determines the position of the crisis track. So if a player doesn't reach the goal, the crisis track moves down the difference between the current VP of the player and the goal VP. The same happens if a player exceeds the goal, increasing the crisis track equal to the difference. At the beginning of a round, an event card is drawn matching the current state of the crisis track. Green being, it's okay, to red being, oh boy, we are in trouble. After that, players will plan by placing their managers on action spaces in sectors 1 to 14. Some actions are hiring workers of a certain specialization, trading both money and or VP to gain resources, and to purchase from the line of available companies. Once planning is done, each action is carried out in order by sectors 1 to 13. Performing the action as well as spending or gaining money and VP when determined. After that, players will assign their workforce to companies and spend any resources necessary to produce more resources, money, and or VP. Once that's done, players who have put managers on Sector 14 can export resources for VP and money to help raise the crisis track, or sell to the black market for straight up cold hard cash. Then the number on the crisis track is determined by taking into account all players' current VP. As long as the crisis track stays at 0 or above, play continues until round 7. Then the player with the most VP wins. But if the crisis track ever goes below 0 after completion of a round, the game ends immediately. Only the player with the most VP that has met the round's current VP goal wins. Okay, this one totally surprised me. It really didn't seem like something that would appeal to me because the theme of helping a country through a financial crisis sounded so far out what I'm used to, but it really sank its hooks into me. The mechanics are super solid and make sense both as a game and thematically when a game suffers crises like this. Definitely reminiscent of actual countries we know from recent years. The board looks completely overwhelming with the amount of actions a player can take, but once you know what each sector does, it makes perfect sense and flows very nicely. The iconography is great at reminding you what everything does as well. My favorite part has to be when producing with your chosen companies. Matching up the workers for a big engine of produced goods is so satisfying. Now don't get me wrong, this game is tough and takes a lot of planning. Games I played were tense throughout because even on the easiest austerity plan, the crisis track could go below 0, ending the game prematurely. Which means you really do need to work together some to keep everything afloat. Just not too much because there can only be one actual winner. And with that comes some mean moments where you have to block other players from getting certain action spaces that they need, even if you don't need them yourself. I don't mind some mean mechanics. I mean, we are money-grubbing industrialists trying to gain the upper hand from an economic recession after all. There's hardly ever any nice ones of those. I love the different win conditions. If players can complete all 7 rounds, the player's money they've accumulated contributes to their VP. But if the game ends sooner than that, money is worth nothing and is only about the VP a player has at that point. The art and components are top-notch. The tarot-sized cards are large and feel good. Each type of resource is a custom wooden token that adds to the overall look that cubes just couldn't do. The art style is simple and clean with nice touches. I love that each worker can be both male or female, allowing you to choose your own unique workforce. Plus the entire board is double-sided, allowing for a choice between 2 different scenes. It doesn't change anything and is there for aesthetics. I prefer the dark side, of course. Now just because I liked it doesn't mean there weren't some flaws. A player could potentially choose to end the game prematurely just to stop others from winning. So I definitely wouldn't recommend playing this with sore losers. There's also no scaling between different player counts, meaning that with fewer players there's a lot more room to get to the action space you need, lowering some of the tension. There's limited replayability in the company cards as each are used every game. Luckily in the current Kickstarter there are more cards to add from the new mini expansion to help beef up variety. So if you're looking for a competitive, heavier worker placement game that keeps you on your toes with what other players and the game itself will do, you should check this one out. I put the link to the current Kickstarter where you can snag a copy of the game, as well as the new mini expansion, Crisis: The New Economy, in the description below. Be sure to go there before it ends on April 29th. That's it! I hope you enjoyed the review. If you want more, check out what I'm playing over on my Instagram, or come interact with me on Twitter. I'd love to connect with you. Also, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay geeky, keep gaming.